Greetings, gamer guys and gals. I'm Zeake, welcoming you to the 11th part of my Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Let's get right into this. Chapter 10, Prisoner Release. Hey, Ike. I heard you're leaving. Going to Begnion, eh? Hello, Ranulph. I was hoping I'd see you. I'd wanted to thank you for everything you've done. I'm glad to have the chance before I leave. Well, aren't you the dutiful one? Hey, that reminds me. You were born here in Gallia, right? I knew there was something odd about you. You're awfully friendly for a Bjork, you know. Oh, you might not know, but a Bjork is what... I know what it means. It's what you call us humans, right? Oh, knew that, did you? Well then, let me tell you something else. When we use the word human, we mean it much the way you Bjork do when you call us subhumans. Really? It's an insult to be called human? I'm glad you told me. I would never have guessed. I should warn you, if you run across any Legus who call you that, be careful. They are no friend of yours. Got it, thanks. I won't forget. But I've digressed long enough. Let me explain why I'm here. Huh? Princess Alencia, may I have a moment of your time? Yes, of course. The king asks that I give you this. Please accept it as a gift. What? May I ask? Within that leather pouch is 20,000 gold pieces. Bjork currency, of course. Oh, I truly appreciate this generous offer, but a gift of this magnitude is not something I can accept. King Canegas has done so much more than necessary already. The king is ashamed that he cannot, at this time, provide any personal support. Please, will you accept his apology and acknowledge his desire to aid you? But, no? Well then, let's try this. Yes? You accept the king's gift, then as payment for conducting you safely to Gallia, you hand it over to Ike. Come on, Ranulph, you can't expect her to accept this. And it's an outrageous fee, no matter how you look at it. 20,000 gold for the life of a princess? Perfectly reasonable. In fact, it almost borders on insulting. Consider how you have suffered, the lives you have lost. 10, no, 100 times this amount would not be unreasonable. I have reconsidered. I will accept the king's kindness. In turn, I will present it to my Lord Ike. You will accept it, will you not? I will. Thank you. No, my Lord Ike, it is I who must thank you. Got 20,000 gold. Well now, that's it. Now that that's settled, let's move on. Unfortunately, we do not have any ships here in Gallia. If you are to find a ship that will take you to Begnion, you must return to occupied Crimea. If there's no other way, then we'll just have to risk it. No matter how cautiously you proceed, you're certain to run into Daean forces. Keep that in mind. I understand. It's too bad we're so short on soldiers. Still, there's not much we can do about that now. However, I will review our supplies carefully before we depart. In regard to your personal problems, the king has decided to lend you what aid he can. Leave, Mordecai? I will join you. Mordecai and Leave? Both of you? Are you sure? None of the others could stand the idea of traveling with humans. I myself tremble with loathing at the thought of going to Begnion, but when the king gives an order, obedience is the only option. That may be, but having witnessed the combat prowess of the Gallians for myself, I know how fortunate we are. We will not fail you. Yes. I've no intention of becoming friends. Do not forget that. And stay out of my way. You must forgive Leave. Her tongue cuts as deep as her claws do. I will return once I've reported to the king. While I'm gone, please finish your preparations for departure. Very well. Ike, here's a summary of our last battle. Earned 24,515 gold. That's a whole lot of change. MVP Titania yet again, and 5 new allies. We're not using most of those, but it's good to know we've got more people who are on our side. There were no casualties, and no one suffered permanent injury. We fought excellently. That's all I have to report, if you'll excuse me. All right, let's go to info. You there, Bjork. What do you think you're doing? I was trying to get back to my room, but I've lost my way. Can you tell me which way I need to go? It's this way. Follow me. Hey, not so close. Walk behind me. What? Pardon me. The king has ordered us to treat Bjork with kindness, but it will take some time. It is difficult to fight that instinct. Perhaps some memory of the slavery of our forefathers suffered at Bjork hands flows in our blood. I understand. I'll keep my distance. Very well. Let's go. All right. And so we put this guy right here, and this dealy bobber goes there, and we're finished. Packing, huh? Want some help? Do I want some? Piffed. You're a hoot, handsome. I'm already done. You're more skillful at this than I would have imagined. Or is it that Mist is woefully inept? Aw, the Begnion Pegasus Knights were always moving around, so I learned to pack quickly. They used to train us on it all the time. Go here, pack this, fun stuff. Is that so? I can see that you have a strong sense of duty. Quitting the Begnion Pegasus Knights to join us must seem... What are you saying? I'm a burden now? No. I'm very grateful you're here. As I told you before, we're short on personnel. Oh, good then. And I'm happy to be here. Say, Ike, you don't need to worry about me quitting the Begnion service. My decision wasn't based solely on my desire to repay you. You had other reasons? Yes, I'm also searching for my missing brother. He may be a dolt and a scoundrel, but he's all the family I have in this world. Remember when you found me? When we were fighting the pirates? Well, I was trying to track him down. But every time I go looking for him, I end up in some dangerous situation with ugly boat monkeys trying to kill me. Huh. So that's why you decided to join us, is it? I can understand that. So are you sorry you asked? Not at all. The important thing is finding your brother as quickly as possible, right? That's the plan. You seem depressed. Look at who I'm trapped with. Of course I am depressed. And keep your worthless observations to yourself. All of you are so slow. I can't believe you're still not ready. Sorry about that. If we were like you and didn't need to carry anything, it would be easier. But we have weapons and things to get ready. Weapons of steel are a human weakness. Without them, you cannot fight properly. But Leave, you're carrying a dagger, aren't you? In the scabbard on your leg. This is not for fighting. Then what's it for? I use it to remove small bones from meat. I can also cut fruit into bite-sized pieces. It has proven quite useful. What? If you've got something to say, spit it out. You despise Bjork, but you don't mind Bjork-crafted tools? Yeah, it is pretty hypocritical, isn't it, Ike? If something's good, it's good. Denying something's obvious worth out of a petty spite is foolish. Well, at least you admit that you have petty spite. It's not that I do not despise everything Bjork. If every Bjork could get along with us as well as you do, I'm certain. Leave? This is a ridiculous conversation. I'm leaving now. That was a ridiculous conversation. Okay. We have no new support partners, unfortunately. Or it could be fortunately, however you look at it. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving Mist a load of bonus EXP. So let's go ahead and do that now. She is my bonus EXP target. I'm going to get her up to level 10 as fast as possible. Probably stop at level 10 because I have another unit coming shortly that I really want to give bonus EXP to and get him up to a high enough level as well. So far, Mist is getting okay levels. Hopefully she gets better ones. They're all fixed, so if I keep doing the same thing, it's going to be the same stuff. As long as she doesn't have any band or weapon or anything like that equipped, you really can't mess with the levels in fixed mode, which is one of the things I just love about it. I just love it so much. So basically, her levels are pretty much predetermined at this point. She's one of the units that gets a lot from bonus EXP too, due to the fact that you really want healers like her who can't fight. She can't gain any EXP faster than with the staves that she can use. And the only staves that she can use that can give her decent decent EXP is like the ward staff, which is C rank. I would have to get her all the way up to C rank from E rank in order for her to be able to use that staff. It's just totally unacceptable to me. Alright, that's good for now. That arm scroll will definitely will come in handy at a later date. That is for certain. Ike is going to use the Seraph Robe. I said Seraph Robe, I meant to say Talisman. Mist is going to use the Seraph Robe. She needs the health more than just about anybody else. Especially if I intend on using her, which I do. Okay. And then I believe what we're going to do is I think we'll just leave everything be for now. We could possibly forge another weapon. Alright, let's go ahead and forge a sword. Oh, we can forge throw lances now. Oh, now there we have something interesting. Alright, we're going to instead forge a lance. A javelin, per se. Give it a little bit extra might, a little bit extra hit. We're going to call this the King. And I think, yeah, red's a good color for that. Red's definitely a good color for that. We'll be putting this on Marcia. She could definitely use with some extra damage, that's for sure. And slim lances are virtually useless. I believe we have a few things we can sell. So let's check it out. Well, we're definitely getting rid of the slim lance. They're just not my cup of tea. That's the best way to put it, I think. It's too bad we can't sell that Ross bow, but because it is a personal weapon, they just will not let you. Pegasus band, gone. We may at some point end up using a Leguse, so we'll go ahead and keep that for the time being. Alright, so that's everything. Let's go ahead and leave base. After his father's death places the mantle of leadership on his young shoulders, Ike agrees to continue as Alincia's escort. The company heads now for the Begnion Empire, the oldest and largest nation on the continent of Telius. As Crimea is a former fiefdom of Begnion, the princess turns to them for succor, much as a scared child returns to a parent. Many in Telius believe that without Begnion's might and influence, Crimea's reconstruction will be nigh impossible. However, Begnion and Gallia have no diplomatic ties and are further separated by an impassable mountain range. So the company is forced to return to Crimea, where they hope to locate a ship to carry them to Begnion. Quite the long path there. Quite. Accompanied by Ranulf, the warrior who has volunteered to guide them, the company leaves Castle Gallia behind. With heavy hearts and wounded spirits, they begin the long march back to Crimea. Hey Ike, hold up a moment. You know, I was thinking, since this castle is on the way, we should probably stop by. Really? Why? Is there something special about this place? Why, yes, there is. This is Cantius Castle. Dayan seized it early on in the war. Now it serves as a camp for prisoners. I've even heard there are a number of Crimean retainers being held captive in the dungeon beneath the castle. What? Are you certain? Princess, I'm hurt. Of course my information is reliable. If we can rescue some Crimean soldiers, they might decide to join us. That would be quite a boon, would it not? Yes, it would. I think it's worth the risk. Cantius Castle. The question now is, how do you open these cells and free the prisoners? The cells are certain to be locked, so in order to open them, logic would dictate that the keys will be in the possession of the jailer. We've no choice but to steal them. If we're lucky, the guards will have keys as well. In either case, we must move with caution. We don't want to trade blows with the entire castle garrison. Which means we stay close to the walls and avoid being seen or heard, right? All right then, our first priority is to get our hands on the cell keys. Hey, you there. I have business with Sir Grail. Where is he? You're sorely lacking in social etiquette, aren't you? State your business. I'll speak with Sir Grail, and Sir Grail alone. Now take me to him. What you ask is impossible. Commander Grail is dead. Well, that is a problem. Just who are you, anyway? Call me Volk. Sir Grail hired me. I'm in intelligence. My father hired you. You are Sir Grail's son, correct? You'll do. Sir Grail hired me to investigate something. You pay me my price, and I'll give you my report. Deal? How much? 50,000. That's a bit steep. And worth every penny. I don't have that much. Give me some time. So you're willing to pay? My father hired you. He must have had a good reason. Are you sure, Commander? We have no way of knowing if he's telling the truth. We'll know when we see the contents of that report. Until then, let's have him travel with us. So that's your plan, eh? Listen, you get the report when I get paid, and I'm not waiting around until then. I'll keep my information for the time being. Call me when you've got the gold. Stop into any tavern along your way. Tell the barkeep you're in need of a fireman. You'll see me within an hour. Hold a moment. Intelligence. You said you were in intelligence, right? Is information the only thing you sell? Come out with it. What are you asking? Locks. Can you open locks? Sure. 50 gold per lock. You're going to have him open the cell doors? Is that wise? We've only just met him. There's no telling if you can trust him. All right, so we get a decision based in this game, a choice. Basically, we either hire, don't hire, or seek advice. And this is one of the only times in this game, I mean, there's a couple instances in this game, but one of the only times in the franchise even where you can make such a drastic decision like this and you're given the choice, and it's not just kind of a loose story-driven thing. This is very real. You either hire him or don't, and if you don't, you're stuck with figuring out the doors yourself. Interestingly enough, the doors and locks and keys and all that stuff, you can actually open up, I'm pretty sure, all the doors, all the chests in this chapter without needing a thief. So this is kind of like a formality. Personally, I think Volk is worth it, especially since he's the only thief in this game who promotes. Which, if that has any appeal to you, if you want to use the thief for fighting purposes and not just locks and stuff like that, he's basically your only option. The other interesting thing to think about here is that he literally does charge you 50 gold per lock. Every time you have him open something, chest or door, he will charge you 50 gold. You will be minus 50 gold for each one of those locks or doors or chests or whatever that you have him unlock. Alright, so before we actually make our decision, let's go ahead and seek advice. What do the two of you think? Under the circumstances, I think trusting a man about whom we know nothing is dangerous. I am opposed to this. If we want to get those cells open, I think risk is going to be inevitable. If we don't have to steal keys, we can reduce that risk and improve our chances of rescuing the prisoners. It's worth a shot. And we are going to hire him. Volk, will you help us break into these cells? As long as I get paid, I've got no complaint. Titania, objections? I told you before, didn't I? You're the commander. If you decide on a course of action, I will but follow. Righto, I'm off. Good luck and all that. What? Wait, you're not going to help us here? Much as I would like to, I have a job to do. I will rejoin you when I'm finished. I see. Well, good luck to you then. Yes, and to you as well. Alright, so interestingly enough, I play this chapter in the hidden way that this game intends. And I say that kind of loosely because you can play this chapter which way you want. You can play this chapter like itself, like I'm about to here, and there's going to be no harm, no foul. The difference is, if you play this chapter without stealth, you are virtually going to be getting as much EXP in combat as you would for bonus. So if you do not fight these enemies, you will actually get bonus EXP for that. And it's about as much as you would get for fighting in combat. So if you want to give bonus EXP rather to a unit that is not so good at fighting at this current time, or for instance somebody like Mist or Volk or Rolf, this would be a perfect opportunity to do that, in fact. The only caveat to what you can and cannot fight is you just cannot be caught by these watch folk. And what that means is that you just don't wait in their vicinity. So each and every turn I'm going to be selecting them and making sure I'm not within any of their range. There's 3 watches and they're going to move constantly around this castle, this prison. And if you wait in their limited space, in the spaces in which they move, their movement range and their attack range, they will alert the guards, and then you'll be swarmed from all sides with enemies. You can fight those in here. You can fight the boss and his 2 myrmidons, and they will not alert the guards, which I think is kind of silly, but cool in the same vein. So you do get the opportunity to get some experience from that. And I would definitely recommend fighting this boss and getting these chests, because he gives you not only a Master Seal, you also get some pretty decent items from these chests. Now, one thing I will say, I play this chapter kind of controversially, and there's probably going to be a lot of people who, if they watch this, will not appreciate this. I will not be opening any of these cells. I won't be going over here either. I'm literally just going straight straight to the boss, opening these chests, and getting out of here. Reason being is because I want this to be done in as quick and orderly and as decent amount of time as I possibly can. And opening the doors promotes different problems. If I want to go open these doors and recruit these 2 units, I have to get over there. It's going to take me an extra like 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 turns. It's another like 3, 4, 5 turns for this. Another 2 or 3 turns for Nephany. So it's really just not that important. And Sephiran here, this overpowered unit, you do not have to worry about opening his door. He just magically finds his way out after the chapter is completed regardless. What this does mean is that Nephany, Braum, and Kyran, I will not be recruiting any one of them. I apologize if they're one of your favorite units. I do actually love Nephany, and I am definitely not opposed to either Braum or Kyran, but in this run I'm not going to be using any of them, so because of that, there's just no real reason for me to open their doors and recruit them. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. First and foremost, like I said, I will be clicking on these ranges as much as possible to make sure that I do not leave anybody in their range. And as you'll see here, it doesn't matter if your units are within their range now, per se, just as long as they don't end in their range. Now, I could, in fact, play this with 2 more units. Particularly, one of the ways that I would do that is with Mist and with Marcia. And I'd have Marcia pick up Mist. I could in fact play this with 2 extra units, Marcia and Mist, and that's how I typically do play this, having Marcia, Oscar, and Titania in order to pick up 3 other units is a very viable strategy, especially if you want a healer. Mist is a pretty decent healer, and I typically, since I use her quite often, I give her the bonus EXP, and she has enough magic and whatnot to really do something with her heal staff. However, because I kind of don't need that, I have the elixir on Titania, and if anybody needs healing while fighting the boss, they can just use that. And I'm definitely not afraid of using it. I can skimp out on that and not have to worry about it. Because if you do bring that extra 2 units, Marcia and Mist or Marcia and whoever, or even if you're just bringing Marcia to pick up somebody like Nephany, you could open up Nephany's cell, pick her up, and not worry about anybody catching you. The issue is that it would actually take a couple extra turns for me to get out of this prison, because there's not enough spaces in the overlapping ranges of the watch for you to run 3 units through them. And you'll see sooner or later during this chapter gameplay exactly what I'm talking about there. There's instances where you only have spaces for 2 units. Tell me something, will you? What's going to happen to us? Those Dahan soldiers took my friends away, and they never come back. What did they do to them? Oh, something bad happened, I just know it. Quiet, fool. Keep your cowardly mutterings to yourself. It matters not what vile torture they devise. A true knight of Crimea is bold, steadfast, and strong. I care not if they pull out my nails with tongs, or insert pins into the soft flesh of my underbelly, or yank... Stop it! I can't bear torture. I'm not a professional soldier, I'm just part of the militia. I can't believe I left my family behind for this. Will I ever see them again? Oh, I want to go home. Curses! If only I had a weapon of some sort. Help will come. I will not give up. Okay. Let's go ahead and ping these ranges. It's at this kind of moment that you really would just love it if the game gave you global ranges in this game, and ranges that update. Alright, so this is going to take a few turns to get around, but that is okay. And check these ranges yet again. Always got to be mindful of this. It's very easy to mess this up, and then you're in a world of hurt if you only brought 2 units. Well, technically 4, but you get my drift. Alright. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that these 2 spaces are safe, but we'll just make sure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, those 2 spaces are safe. Gotta be careful, this is some serious business here. That was proof positive right there. You know, you only get those 2 spaces. You would have to move somebody else around these units, and it's just not really conducive to what I'm doing here, so. And then 2 spaces here. Again, we have more spaces here, but still, the point still holds. Better to be safe than sorry. Okay. Let's make sure we can do this, actually. I think we'll have to keep the well, I actually don't know who attacks first. If it's Donamil or the Myrmidons. I would prefer the hammer for Donamil. That's another thing, is that Titania is the only unit who could reliably take on Donamil. So, there is that as well. Alright, so it is them. I made the right call there using the steel axe, because it's pretty unlikely that she would have hit either of these Myrmidons. Well, she didn't hit them anyway, with the hammer at all. Alright, we're going to have to get that guy out of the way. It's really unfortunate that I missed there. I didn't even think about that. I should have equipped the short spear. Mistakes were made. I could have got rid of both the Myrmidons in one fell swoop. That's alright. That is alright. Oh, come on. Beautiful level. Absolutely beautiful, Oscar. Worth every second. Alright, let's get in here and start looting. Want to get out of here as soon as possible. Look who's come to play. I am so very happy to see you. Now then, are you ready to become my prisoners and live a life of eternal bliss within my lovely dungeon? He sounds very convinced of this. And counter-procced. Very interesting. Well, what I could do, and this is definitely legitimate here, hit him with one short spear and finish him off with Ike. Perfect. Oh yes, excellent. What a defiant stare you have. You're exactly the type of prisoner I long for. I will watch as hope fades from your eyes and revel as despair clouds your vision. It will be transcendent. Don't count on it. You'll not escape. I will see all of you dead. You will be executed. Well, Donovan, I don't think that execution's coming by you. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Phenomenal level. Just what I would expect out of Ike. That is really surprising that he went to attack Ike. Really quite surprising. I would have figured that he would have definitely gone for Volk. Oh wait, I forgot about that. Volk has a skill on him called Shade, which keeps him from being spotted. All right. And we can just escape. And Volk obviously says nothing. Edgy guy he is. Pardon me, may I have a moment of your time? Who are you? I am a monk on a pilgrimage. My name is Sephiran. But thanks to your efforts, I have been freed from my imprisonment. A monk? Why did the Dayan army arrest you? I was arrested in a nearby village where I was treating wounded Crimean knights. I received no trial but taken prisoner nevertheless. I was scheduled to be executed on the morrow. I owe you my life. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't have to thank us. However, I am curious about your situation. Why were you aiding Crimean soldiers? Do you question my story? You're a monk on pilgrimage, as well as an ally of Crimean resistance fighters. Under the circumstances, do you blame me? Tell me something, Ike. If you came across a wounded person, could you ignore his plight? Normally, no, I could not. But in times like these, where it means risking my own life, I don't know. It's tough to say. Haha, you're quite honest. However, if actually faced with such a choice, a man such as yourself would not hesitate. If faced with an individual in pain, you would act instinctively. Your body would not wait for the command. Who are you, really? You're so calm, so full of peace. I can't believe you're a simple monk. If you'll forgive me, I must be going. Fare thee well, young warrior. I am certain that we will meet again. How very ominous. Ike. Oh, hello, Volk. What do you want? I was thinking about traveling with you for a bit. I'll be in the general area, so if you need anything, you can call me. I'll help you out for a fee, of course. What did you say? Why would you do such a thing? In times such as these, there must be many parties that need intelligence. Well, you've sparked my curiosity, and besides, no, we'll just leave it at that. That's not acceptable. Don't be so inflexible. It's not as if I'll be joining your merry band or anything. This is strictly business. And yet you... Titania. I believe this is a good opportunity. We will almost certainly have need of this man's talents. He is a dubious character at best, but at least we know his motives. Everything begins and ends with gold. He'll be easy to control. Soren, he's standing right there. I don't think he minds. What will it be, Ike? The decision's yours. And we are definitely going to let him come. This is an easy request. Again, they give you this option. I'm not so sure exactly why they give you this option. I guess really to just emphasize that you have control over the story, perhaps, which I do appreciate. I'm not denying the goodness that this story brings, and that you can really see your own decisions being made relevant. So I appreciate that, and it's just kind of like, we already hired him, we already got him, I guess it's more like a trial issue. Oh, we don't like this Volk character, let's refuse his request. Very well, you may do as you like. Excellent. Call me if you need anything. First the thief, and then that monk. What an odd band of characters you've attracted. Ranoff, have you finished your errands? All done, but what about those two? Yes, they're both rather mysterious. Well, the monk seems like a decent enough fellow. Determining who is a friend and who is a foe is something I must be able to do. But it's just so hard. That's only because you don't have enough information to base your judgment on. All we can do now is press on. You're right. And as you see here, we got a total of 1,060 bonus EXP. Now, the ally escaped, we got 40 for that. I did make an error a couple of chapters ago in an escape on chapter 6, in fact, where I said that allies escaping don't really matter in this game. They do. They give you bonus EXP. It's pretty negligible, though. Even if we had the maximum number of allies in that chapter and had every last person escape that we possibly could, it would still not be that much. Maybe a level. Maybe 2. It would not be that much. But it's still better than nothing. Alright, that was Chapter 10, Prisoner Release. I'll see you next time.